If you are looking for all things real estate and an in-depth look at market fluctuations and answers to all your buying and selling questions, look no further than real estate expert Lisa Hill. Lisa brings her vast 15-year knowledge directly to you every week, sharing her own struggles as she navigates you through the twists and turns of the real estate world. Lisa has been sober for 9 years and has been motivating people ever since. A speaker, mentor, and teacher, each week Lisa will welcome guests from all facets of the industry to ensure you are as informed as possible before making any real estate decisions. This is the Lisa Hill Show, real estate for the real world.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lisa Hill Show, real estate for the real world. I'm your host, Lisa Hill, and I have David Durham here. Hi, David.
Hi, Lisa.
So glad you're back.
Glad to be here.
I had such good feedback that I brought David back to the show, so welcome.
Well, that's nice of you. Thank you.
So how was your week this week?
My week this week.
Yeah, it's Thursday. So
I know, I forget the days.
Right? Life of an entrepreneur.
Yeah. All right. They all match together.
Yeah.
Sometimes I take a day off.
Yeah.
Right. No, it was a really good week. It was honestly a lot of just coaching this week. I had calls back to back to back a few days in a row. So the coaching business has actually grown quite quickly.
Yeah, you're kicking ass.
It's going well. Thanks. No, but it's going really well. And we're actually already having some breakthroughs. I know I got another client today, and just pushing out as much content as possible, as always, dealing with my current escrows and real estate as I finished that out. How about you?
Because you're leaving real estate, right?
I am.
That is a bold move, my friend.
It is, and
I love it.
I know. It's finally hitting me, though. You know, I'm 100% in my coaching and speaking, and that's another thing I've been doing actually the past 2 weeks now. I've been in a couple different businesses, been able to go speak to their sales force, some business groups in Sacramento. So it's really great getting to be able to connect. With a lot of other business owners and other entrepreneurs. And that's what I'm so big about, is getting out there and connecting. Because in one of my videos, I even say, know the half of the amount that you know. And then imagine my point is you only need to know half of what you know. If you were half as good as what you do and you had the right connections, you could go so far.
Connections are everything.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't know everything, if you know somebody that has the resource, then that's half the battle right there.
And you get the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's so huge. That's something I've been focusing a lot just the past couple of weeks as well.
Yeah. And so you're focusing on, like I said, you're leaving real estate, which is a bold move, which is great. I applaud you. I love when people do bold moves, because that means you're all in. And you're really focusing on one thing. So although you were doing real estate, kicking major butt in real estate, you decided your passion was coaching and speaking and working with the public on bringing the best out of them and coaching. And that's your one thing.
That's my one thing. And that's what I found out during real estate. Yeah.
So you said you're saying no to real estate and you're saying yes to coaching.
Exactly. I'm saying no to real estate and I'm saying yes to coaching.
Yeah.
Where my heart truly is. And I want to be aware that I'm not trying to juggle two things. I need 100% focus, like you said, all in.
Yeah.
Aspire by Kevin Hall. That's a great book. He has a chapter called All In. It's OLLIN, and it talks about literally mentally, physically, your heart, you are all in on something. And the only reason why I had the success that I've had in my life so far is because of that mentality of being all in.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's what we're talking about in the pre-show. Because our show today, we're talking about a few different things, but basically saying no to certain things and saying yes to others. And I was working with a coaching client this week, and she was talking about wanting a raise. And she didn't think that she was getting paid what she deserves. And so she's going to have this discussion with her boss. And so we were digging a little deeper, and I said, okay, why do you need a raise? And number one is she felt like she was worth more.
Right.
She could go somewhere else and get more. And the second thing is one of her children is going off to college.
Okay.
So she has to pay for that. And, she was looking around at different options of different places for employment, and she could get paid more.
Right.
And she said, my boss really needs me.
Yeah.
She needs me because X, Y, and Z. And I said, okay, now she needs you. And you're saying yes to her for lower pay.
Right.
But you're saying no to your family. You're saying no to your family by taking less pay for a job that you can get paid more.
You are spot on right there, Lisa.
Right. Yeah, and she stopped me and she's like, okay, let me write that down. Hold on, because I'm going to tell her that in the conversation. I said, yeah, anytime you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So it goes back to that one thing, that being, like I said with you, how you're saying no to real estate and you're saying yes to coaching. You have to be all in, because she's on the fence right now. So
Right.
she's in limbo. That's not a good place to be. It's not a good place to be indecisive and one foot here and another foot here. You have to be all in with whatever you decide to do.
That's a great point, because the most successful people can make a decision off a dime.
Yep.
Here's the thing. It's not a rash decision, and yet they can make one. They can make an educated, informed decision, and that's what the most successful people do. And you made a good point.
Because it's conviction. When you know who you are and you know your boundaries and you know what you will say yes and no to, it's easy to make a decision. I can make a decision like that because I know my boundaries.
Right.
I know my worth. I had a client this week, a coaching client, someone who wanted to coach with me, and he wasn't there on scheduled time. And I emailed him and said, I'm sorry, but I don't think we're going to be a fit.
Right.
Because I respect my client's time so much, and I in turn expect the same thing. Those are my expectations. Before I even coach with a client, I send them a sheet up front and it says, here's our expectations. Here's what I provide to you. When we coach, you have me 100% of the time. I promise you, I will not be emailing, texting, on my computer, driving in the car. You have 100% of my attention.
Right.
And I in turn expect the same. And start on time, end on time, because time is money and you're paying me for my time. So start, end on time. And he didn't. And I said, I would love to help you, but unfortunately I can't, because my boundary is I can only help people that respect me.
Right.
If you no-show, you have a lack of respect, because I guarantee if Gary Keller were to schedule an appointment with them, he would not have missed the time.
You're 100% right. And that person decided to say no to improving themselves and saying yes to whatever that might be.
Correct.
Right? And back to your main point, the coaching client you were talking about just a minute ago, making that decision between her daughter and work.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge point we can discuss, because a lot of people are unhappy with their work-life balance as if they need one.
Yeah.
Right? Where there is no such thing as a work-life balance.
It doesn't exist.
And yet it's about being aware what you're saying yes to and what you're saying no to, because there are times I believe I'm going to say no to my family. I'm sorry. I'm going to say yes to work.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no to my friends. I'm going to say yes to work. I'm going to say no to work sometimes for my family, but it's that right balance. And it's all about being okay with your choices.
Yeah.
It's being aware of it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. It goes back to that point that we're talking about, is conviction. Knowing what your boundaries are, knowing when to say yes, when to say no, and making decision like that, because you know what your worth is. You know what your value, you know what your priorities are. So you can see things getting out of, what needs to take priority. Because sometimes we like to do the fun things, right? I mean, it's fun. I could do this and I could do this and I could go here and I could go shopping. I can go get my nails done. I can do 100 small things to fill up my day. But priorities.
I fall into that category, and it's not that I fall into it. I think we all do. And I'm happy we're jumping into this, because it's time management, right?
Absolutely.
And it's like you feel overwhelmed because there's so many things you could be doing. And back to the same point, if I'm saying yes to this, I'm saying no to that. So what should I be saying yes to? What should I be saying no to? Right? And that's why it's so important with time management to get so specific. So the 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
Right? The 80-20 rule. 80% of your results are from 20% of your activities. So it's about being specific, taking 3 to 4 hours a day on that 20% activity.
Sure. And we talk about it in our book too.
Oh, absolutely.
We talk about the 3 hours of lead generating for brand new agents. That's your big rock. That's the 20% of activities. And their whole book is basically the 20% activities that are going to get you the 80% of results, which is sales.
That's exactly what it is, because we were able to get our first commission check in less than 60 days because we focused on the 20% every single day, all day, right? And
what I've done, because I'm huge on scheduling and schedule out time and my calendar, and what I did, I made the mistake not one time, it was like a month or so of this, because I plan my week out every Sunday. Well, what I was doing is I was writing everything in my calendar, everything. I'm like, to the wash my laundry and
how'd that work out for you?
It was horrible.
Wait, I'm doing that right now.
No, because it was so bad okay, those are suggestions. Those are the small things. That's the 100%. That's not the 20% of things. I was scheduling the 80%, and of course, I'm looking at my calendar. I'm like, okay, I got to do the laundry. I got to cook. I got to do this. I have to go here. I have to go to the dry cleaner. I got to get my car washed. And I literally had everything calendared out the entire week, and I wasn't completing it because I'm not a robot. You know, I know, although it's in the calendar and there's time scheduled out, there's something you can't factor in, which is energy. Because sometimes you might have time to do everything, but if your energy isn't there, and I was depleting my energy because I was so focused on complete, like a freaking robot, and it didn't work out very well. And so I said, okay, I need to readjust, time block the 20%.
Yeah.
So I went through every category. So physical, spiritual, emotional, financial. Okay, so what's the one thing in the financial that I need to time block for? Okay, go in the gym. Okay, perfect. And then what's the one thing spiritual? Okay, I need to go to I go to recovery. I'm in recovery. Got to go to my recovery meetings. Okay, 3 a week. Boom. Okay, so then I went through every category and picked out the one thing in each category to complete. And then all the rest of the stuff fell into place. But when I was scheduling everything in, it was freaking chaos because I was overwhelmed, and those are not priorities. Those are it's a to-do list that can wait till next week if possible. My car's dirty right now.
It's you either you delegate it, you defer it, you delete it, or you do it. Those are the options. I do the same thing as you, Lisa. Every single Sunday or Monday morning, I plan out my entire week. And I do the 20%ers though. I'm not doing necessarily my laundry and cleaning and the car and the errands, but I am doing the coaching and the speaking and booking appointments and making sure I have the time for that, the important stuff. Back to time management. Remember how you're talking about the 80%ers, like the 100%ers,
yes.
The stuff that's not as important. What are your thoughts on this? Here's what I've done. I've actually created a list of that, of the laundry, of this, of responding to certain emails, of getting back to these people, of doing that, because that's all within my 20% time during the day. I'll actually time block for random activities.
That's good. I've never actually thought of that or done that, but that's a really good idea. Because what I've done, I write it down. And I kind of just do it like a little checklist. And if I get to it, I do. If not, then I don't. I try to not let it get to me. It's hard sometimes because I want to do everything. I want to check everything off the list. But yeah, like I said before, and like you're talking in the pre-show, how you're tired because you drove and this. We have energy also.
So that's the point, right? I am very tired, right? I've been driving around all day. I've been in the car for more than 3 hours, but it's also just all the calls I've had today and other things I've got to do.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is you have a certain amount of willpower when you wake up. So use that willpower on the right things. If you're using that willpower on the stuff that isn't your 20%, on the stuff that isn't going to grow your life, grow your relationships, and most importantly, your family and your business. I was going to say business, but that's not the most important. But my point is, right, on the topic, that is what we're discussing, business. And if you take the willpower and spread it amongst things that aren't really going to build your business, at the end of the day, when you need to do what's most important, you will not have the energy.
Sure. Like willpower. That's why they say to do the hardest things first thing in the morning when you have the willpower. There was a study done, and I don't know the exact figures or numbers, but basically it was a study done on court trials, right? And during the day, more people were found like innocent and they had more favorable verdicts. And towards the end of the day, when the judges just defaulted to, because they're tired after lunch, the conviction rate went way up because they just default back to, okay, no willpower, tired, probably didn't have a very good lunch, and weren't thinking clearly.
Right.
Where early in the day, when they're thinking clearly and could evaluate things, there was more favorable decisions made. So we do have more energy when we wake up in the start of the day. And willpower, you only have a certain amount. We're not...
You only have a certain amount, and that's actually a reason why I take a nap every single day.
You do?
Yeah, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
nap?
Between there. Not 3 hours.
I wish I could nap.
Well, I do it because I need that reset, because I worked a 15-hour day yesterday, and today I haven't taken a nap, so no wonder I'm tired, right? But that will help me generate my willpower back. I get up and I'm back at it after, it's only 20 minutes, and it gives me some more energy so I can focus on what's most important.
I can't nap.
Really?
At all. No, I've tried. I've tried to nap, but I just will either sleep through or wake up in a bad mood.
Yeah, because
It just
then you got to
doesn't
get
work
up
for
and
me.
get back to it.
No, yeah, I don't know why. It just doesn't work for me. So mine, I'll take time out and meditate. So I'll take a time out and just kind of do some breathing exercises and do that, or just completely get off my phone, turn the computer off or something, just to recharge a little bit.
And everyone has their own way of doing that. One of my past clients posted on Facebook when I had talked about this that he said, does taking an extra long lunch count? Yes, if that's what you need to do, you can. And you can make time for a nap, because I'll tell you what, I could waste 20 minutes every single day. I could find 20 minutes that could have been more productive, and that nap is one of the most productive things. I'm going to say yes to that nap, and I'm going to say no to work, because when I wake up, I'll be saying yes to the important stuff at work and no to everything else.
Yeah.
Gather that willpower back up, and it's so important. Grant Cardone, he talks about how he takes naps.
Yeah.
Some of the most successful people do, or it's having that time. For you, it may not be a nap, but it's having that time
To just recharge. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one thing that has definitely attributed to our success. I talk about it in my book.
One of my affirmations for time management is I'm productive and effective with my time. So anytime I'm like going off on Facebook or doing something else, I will say that affirmation, I'll add it in and say I'm productive and effective with my time. And that will help me get back on track and remember, with the time management stuff. And I'm saying no to something when I'm being productive and effective with my time. I'm saying no to, watching cat videos on Facebook for no reason. And I'm saying yes to getting back to work, calling that client back, focusing on, going over a homework plan with a coaching client or something. So it's saying no to something and saying yes to something else. So that is a huge one. And I say it all the time. I'm like, I'm productive and effective with my time. Anytime I try to, I'm like going off when I'm not supposed to be. Like today, I found myself on some random website doing some random thing that was not productive or effective with my time, that was personal stuff that I could be doing on my own. And I'm at my office
doing it.
Yeah.
That's a bit, I hear you. I do the same thing. One of my affirmations, it isn't that, it's similar. It's pretty much, I defer unimportant tasks, and that's how I have the highest level of productivity each and every day. Very, very, very similar. And that's very important.
Absolutely. So so I'm your coaching client, okay? And I say, David, what's the best thing I could do for time management? What would you say to me?
I would ask you, Lisa, what do you currently do with your time management? How do you currently manage your time?
Well, I calendar it out.
Calendar it out. Tell me more. What does that look like?
Okay, like I'm not a good coaching client because I have it all done already.
Make it up. No, don't be you. Just go ahead. You have good. You're
Okay,
a
I'll
coach
be
yourself.
me. I'll be me. How about that?
Feel
So, I have my schedule done, like I said, my
Okay.
physical, spiritual, emotional, and financial. So I have
Okay.
the 4 categories, and I schedule out the big rocks every single week starting Sunday. But I'm not completing everything right now.
And you're not getting everything done right now.
No, I'm not.
So explain the obstacles that have came up in the past week that have stopped you from getting your big tasks that you already had planned out completed?
I have a wedding I'm planning in 45 days,
Okay.
and I'm moving in October.
Okay.
So I'm
So-
planning an international move and a wedding.
Okay. Those are pretty big deals. That's awesome. Good
Yeah.
for you. That's very exciting. And
Yeah.
congratulations, by the
Thanks.
way. Very exciting. I'm excited for you. So you have everything planned out in your calendar, and your wedding and moving is just interrupting your days, and you're not able to finish what you need to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So are planning for your wedding and the move on your calendar as well?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
But not when I'm doing it.
Okay. Right. Okay.
I'm getting
they're
distracted.
Okay. So what do you think you can do to help fix that so they're not disrupting the most important tasks, which is your business?
Work, my business.
Right. So what do you think? What are some ideas?
I could probably defer more of the planning stuff and not do it during the day.
Okay. Let's talk about a few other options. Just lay them all out there.
Okay.
There's no right or wrong answer. Just say it all.
Okay. Are
Like
you
if
going to send me
money-
an invoice after this? A coaching invoice?
So if money, time, or none of that was an issue, just say it all, right? You could hire 3 assistants and boom. I list out all the options that you have right now.
Okay. I could just pull the trigger and book the place that I know we need to do.
Okay, there's one. Book the place.
Yeah.
Let's go to 5.
Okay. I could book the place. I really don't need to worry about the move right now at all whatsoever.
Okay, not worry about it at all.
Not whatsoever. Yeah,
Okay.
none. And that's really it.
There's more, right? So
Okay.
you can book the place.
Uh-huh.
You can, so what else can you do for the wedding that's going to help you manage your time better?
That's really all that it is. It's going back and forth with deciding on we already have I'm efficient. I already have the ceremony.
Right.
Everything's done.
Okay.
The only thing that we need to do that came up as an obstacle is the place that we're having our reception type afterwards.
Okay.
And
That's exciting. So you just need to find the place for that.
correct.
Okay. And what's holding you up?
I don't know. I'm not set on the place that we found.
Gotcha.
So there's two options. So we just need to pull the trigger on one or the other.
Okay. So you need to pull the trigger on one or the other.
Yes.
So may I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Maybe you time block 2 hours with your fiance and nothing else gets in between that.
He doesn't plan anything.
And then you make the decision.
He won't plan anything.
You won't plan anything. So it's all up to you.
He does.
Uh-huh.
He will, but not really. We've narrowed it down. So it's just one of those two places. And I think we're both not really feeling either of them. I think that's what it is. Because then today we're talking about, I said, let's just elope. I don't even want to do a wedding. And
Really?
yeah.
So let me ask you this. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
List out as many options as you can that will help you make the decision.
Okay. Good idea.
Okay, go.
Okay. Tahoe, elope.
Now you're naming places.
Okay.
I'm saying name options that you can put into your schedule. Name. What I want you to do is list the options that can help you determine where you're going to go, not places.
Okay, here, I'll tell you what we need to do. I need to say, okay, we have to decide by tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Okay.
because it's in limbo.
Okay.
Because we're both unsure.
Okay.
And then now we're adding more places and options and changing stuff up, which is not helpful at all. So I need to set a deadline and say, okay, by this day we have to figure out exactly what we're going to do one way or another.
So I like that. Is that your favorite? Is that what you feel like will work best?
Yes.
Okay. So right now, what are you willing to do? What day and what time are you going to have that decision by?
Okay, today's Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
Friday.
Okay, so this is
By 8
serious
p.m.
now. We're
This is
serious.
serious.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Friday by 8 p.m. and I'm going to hold you accountable to this. So Friday by 8 p.m.
Uh-huh.
And I'd like to know when the big decision's going to be made with your fiance, because that's not a long time frame. So when between tomorrow night at 8 p.m. are you going to be able to discuss this? Just so you know.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell him we have to decide by tomorrow. So between 7 and 8 p.m. we could think about it, and decision has to be made by 8 p.m.
Perfect. I love it. That sounds good. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in making this decision and getting it done by tomorrow by 8 p.m.?
100%.
100%?
Yeah.
Wow.
We can
so
do it. We'll make a decision tomorrow.
Okay. Is that what you're committing to?
Yes, committing.
Committing to it.
Yep.
I love it.
Okay,
What's going to
cool.
happen if you don't make that decision?
Then I'm just going to be in limbo all weekend until Monday comes around and we're indecisive.
So the pain is going through the weekend in limbo and not really being able to enjoy it?
Yes.
All right. So what is your commitment?
That we'll decide something tomorrow by 8 p.m.
All right. And you're going to email that to me, right?
Yeah,
Awesome.
I am.
Sounds
Yes.
good. So
Yay!
tomorrow by 8 p.m., you're going to have a place to go for your wedding.
Yes.
Email it to me.
And I'm not going to worry about it until then, because that's what, today, I just kept thinking about it today. I didn't do any action work on it either. That's the problem. I wasn't doing anything but worrying about it.
And you were saying yes to worrying, right? And what were you
Yes.
saying no to?
No to energy of work.
Yeah.
Because I could have been more engaged in working and my business side of it. And I was less engaged because I'm working on, and that's the thing that gets to me, is that neither one of us, me or him, are like really care about a big wedding. That's the thing. That's what's getting me, is I don't even care. We'll just go to Tahoe or whatever.
Right.
So yes. Okay. I like that. Good.
Exciting. Very good.
Yay. We've got a coaching client on the podcast. You got a free, live one. That was good. I like that. Okay, David, thank you so much for coming on the show. That was great. You I got some coaching from you and had a huge breakthrough. And now I have to tell Joe that we have until Friday at 8 p.m. to make a decision on.
And that's okay,
yeah.
Lisa, right? You're so successful. You're used to making these decisions, and I know that you're going to make it.
Yep.
And it's going to be the right one.
Yeah.
And remember, don't trust your gut. Follow it.
I like that one. I like it. Okay. All right, everyone. Stay tuned to next week. Thanks.
Thanks for stopping by the Lisa Hill Show. For more information, please visit lisahillteam.com. Catch us on the next episode when Lisa brings you more real estate for the real world.